Wait. When I was in sales,
Yeah.
one of the things that was a bit of a gap was the fact that the boss would give you a quota,
Yeah.
and you are going to give feedback to the boss and say, no, this is not achievable given the way the outlook of the market, blah, blah, blah. The boss is going, I don't care.
I don't care because
have
he's
to-
been given that quota
I
from
have
above.
10 million and I have to allocate it to all of you. You're each going to get 2.
Yeah,
Too bad.
and you're stuck with it. Too bad, right?
And you're stuck with it. And it happened with forecasting as well. And so when you're forced to forecast something that you know is not in the pipeline, because the boss doesn't
and then
care.
you start plucking things up from
And then
your
at the,
nether
end of,
regions.
at
It's
the
like-
end of the quarter, you drop the number, and then everyone has mud on their
And
face.
it's not just that.
So
no.
it's quite silly.
But
It's a corporate
it's
toxicity.
it's
3, 2, 1. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Career Success with
Adrian and
Yen.
Yen.
We're happy to be here.
Very happy to be
Happy
here.
Friday.
We are at the beginning of 2026 and a lot of resolutions were made
Yes.
and broken already. I'm
You know,
very sure.
what helped me trigger this topic when I texted you the other day was I was listening. I was dropping a kid somewhere, and I was listening to the radio. And again, it's a separate tangent. I don't know if radio is never gonna die, but it's certainly seeing a lot of flat growth.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was listening to the radio, and one DJ was talking to another about her difficulty in doing day 1 of her resolution.
Oh.
Day 1. So
Okay.
it's January
Wow.
2nd.
Okay.
And she was describing how it was her resolution to do her gratitude journal before bed every night,
Okay.
immediately before sleep.
Okay.
And so the other DJ was just giving her a hard time about how about the hours before bed. You can do it anytime before dinner. And I said, no. She wanted to do it exactly.
Yeah.
And then she had to write the 3 things that she was grateful for before bed. And so she went into a long story. It was fun to listen about how, she had to get out of it. She forgot.
Let's see how long she keeps it up.
Exactly, because she the way she expressed it, she forgot, even though it was a resolution, and she was already tucked in.
Yeah.
And she said, no. So she got out of bed and started writing it.
Yeah.
Then the other DJ said, why didn't you just do it at the bedside table?
Yeah.
Then she went, no, I need a hard surface. I need
Yeah,
something,
good luck.
structure and all that. And I was listening. I was going, I think a lot of us have good intentions at the start of the year about doing something that's going to be different than the year before.
Yes.
Just something. We don't have to be ambitious about making it a big thing, like, I'm going to run a $10 million company, right? I mean, that's a bit overreaching.
Lofty.
So
And that's exactly why gym membership sales in January are the highest. And
exactly. Yes.
no one uses it after
But
February.
at the same time, we do eat a lot during the December holidays.
Yeah, but
I
it's
am
the
also.
sustainability,
But the
you see.
last 2 kilos are the hardest to remove. So I started thinking about goal setting as a topic for today, because I think it's always nice for us to kind of get a refresher around like what are goals, and are they reasonable?
Let me share a secret
are they
with you.
reality? Are they realistic? Sorry.
I don't do resolutions. I don't do goals.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I
Never have,
focus.
never done. I just want to do my best, and the results, the inputs. I focus on inputs rather than the outputs.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
For me,
So they
it's
don't get
it's a
disappointed.
bigger thing. It's a bigger thing. Like it's a theme rather than an actual action.
Yeah.
For me, it's a theme, and as you probably know, for the last 5 years, the theme for my work in progress has always been like, how do I get more diplomatic? How do I get better in softening my tone? How do I get better in giving
to be fair,
effective feedback?
it's getting better.
No,
So-
but sometimes we regress. It depends on mood and all that. And so one of the things I wanted to share today is that when we make goals and we don't hit them, it doesn't mean that you failed.
True.
Please
True.
just remember, like, so if the DJ she misses one day, it doesn't make it the end of the world, because we don't have to dig deep to find 3 things to be gratitude for on a day that maybe was very stressful.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
it's okay to give
and then if you don't get
take.
it and you don't hit the goals, you feel like you failed, then
But
you
if you
lose
wait
interest
till
into it.
October and you look back in January, you realize that you've made some baby steps along the way. So you don't have to force it.
That's why today we are talking about smart goals and why setting smart goals isn't so smart. Remember SMART?
Yes, what does it stand
your
for?
specific,
Specific is good.
okay. M for measurable.
Measurable is important because it has to be tangible.
A is achievable.
Well, yes, because if you want to run a $10 million company within a year, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Unless you
R
inherit
is
something.
R is
Realistic.
realistic, and T is time based. Okay, so
Yes.
so the on the surface of it, smart goals sounds really smart, but I have never used smart goals because
They're stupid.
it's stupid. I'm smarter than that. And I think why. And I tell you why it's weak. Okay, because it focuses on outcomes, and I don't like it because it's an overemphasis on outcomes. If you don't hit that goal, even though the goal may be specific, measurable, blah blah blah, you don't hit it. You feel like you're a failure.
It's a corporate thing because corporate goals are
maybe
measurable
goals,
and
correct.
time-based. So within 1 year, if you have a $1 million quota, you have to achieve that $1 million quota.
I mean, that's a
And so
target,
the
see.
smart goal then ends up being like, what do I need to do? How much pipeline do I need in order to achieve the $1 million
So
quota?
for me personally, I feel that just focusing on outcomes is too stressful, unhappy. And it's unrealistic. I would rather focus on the processes to put in place. Like for instance,
Measurable tasks and actions rather than
measurable
goals.
Yes, correct. So focusing on the processes and the outcomes is good. And if you're too rigidly focused on specific goals, right? And the market changes very quickly.
Yeah, can you imagine your target is there, and then within 6 months it's shifted to something else,
Then what if,
and you still continue down this goal? I mean, I wrote this in one of my articles. Like, you want to let go of goals that are outdated as well.
Yes, correct.
So maybe
and this
besides
day and age, it changes so
every
fast,
day,
right?
right? And that's tough. So in a corporate setting, so forget about the personal individual for now. Maybe the person wants to improve a relationship with their parents, for example. That could be a good goal to have. But in a corporate setting for careerist, an individual who's trying to make it in to get the next promotion, for example, and the goal could be, I want to get promoted. So creating smart goals may not be a bad thing.
I disagree as well, because if you create a smart goal, but if you do not map out the steps to get there,
right? So you need smart steps.
You need smart steps as well, and that's why in a corporate setting as well, one of the biggest arguments against smart goals is that in order to achieve the smart goals, then you just make it as achievable as possible,
Yeah, just lower the quota.
Lower the quota, lower. It's like
No, but you can't do that because there's the boss right there.
No, but sometimes the focus.
One of the wait. When I was in sales, one of the things that was a bit of a gap was the fact that the boss would give you a quota, and you are going to give feedback to the boss and say, no, this is not achievable given the way the outlook of the market, blah blah blah. The boss is going, I don't care.
Because he's been given that quota from above.
10 million, and I have to allocate it to all of you. You're each going to get 2.
Yeah, and you're stuck with it. Too bad, right?
And you're stuck with it. And it happened with forecasting as well. And so when you're forced to forecast something that you know is not in the pipeline, because the boss doesn't care.
And then you start plucking things up from
and then
your nether regions.
At the end of the quarter, you drop the number, and then everyone has mud on their face.
And it's not just that.
So it's quite silly. It's a corporate toxicity.
It's not just that now on the toxicity side of things. It's the stupidity side of things, because then in order to reach the sales goal, and then they start telling you, they start setting up
no resource,
and then they start setting up targets for you, like for instance, in order to hit this amount of sales, you must meet this number of people, which means that every week you must talk to 5 people, and then you can't hit the target. You just I just meet up with 4 friends. Not high value targets. And you're just filling up the goals without the purpose.
The logic for that really works in a sales environment. The people who try to cheat the system by saying, okay, I'll just meet with 4 friends. I mean, they're
sometimes
not going to succeed.
it's set up by bosses who don't really know the business.
That's true. Or they don't understand the lay of the land. Yeah.
So you end up chasing goals without understanding the rationality. So that's why smart.
So we're saying that smart goals. Okay, hang on. So that we're going into like 500 different directions because smart goals for the individual is within their control. But these sort of goals that we've just discussed and debated in a corporate environment involve other stakeholders and not a lot within your control. So the individual is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. So for me, I understand where the goals are. These are your targets to hit and exceed. Okay, fine. How you get there is the big challenge.
Then you need to create
then you got to
strategies.
Yes, correct. That's why instead of looking at smart goals, SMART, I was thinking, is there another way? What are the other ways to look at it? And for me, I am thinking a goal is too often seen as a destination.
So are we talking corporate now?
Personal goals.
Personal makes a lot of sense because it's something within your control. If you want to be a better salesperson, for example, then you can create some ideas and smart strategies.
Correct.
Yes.
So if you're too goal focused, you're focused on a destination, not the velocity and how fast you want to get there, or the direction.
Yes.
And then you're just trying to figure out. So I think it's more important to focus on the inputs rather than hoping that you get the output.
So back to say if an individual wanted to be a more effective salesperson for the territory that they've been tasked with, so the strategy, the smart strategy is, okay, what are some of my activities? So the direction would be to maybe create a territory plan of some sort.
Correct.
To get some economies of scale when it comes to learning about the different customer needs.
Correct.
And so then you get more for the same output.
Yes.
For example, like if
Correct.
you would attend an event and then you can
Yeah.
meet like 20 customers in one
Yes,
event.
correct.
And
Or
then
you
learn the
throw your
language.
own event, get the
And
customers
so
to come in.
the smart goals are very, well, it becomes smart tactics, if
Correct.
you will.
Yes.
And then the part about the velocity is like how often and how fast and how
Correct.
how
Yeah.
how much
So the
can you do
direction
before
and
you burn
velocity.
out, right?
Yeah. The direction and velocity, the steps to getting there.
And more
It's
importantly, the measurable part of it that I have a contention with is when you say, oh, I want to be a better salesperson. What does better mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I want a better job, which is something we've been arguing about since day one. Right? I say, well, I want a better job. What do you mean? It's not measurable.
And the worst thing is sometimes you're not aligned to what the corporate
boss
wants.
wants,
You know,
yes.
to them better might be improvement in earnings
Yes.
quality.
Yeah, quality
right?
of earnings
I want to
rather
see the
than margin.
GM, the gross margins go up.
Yeah.
Or maybe the guy is just saying, I want to have more logos.
Top line or
whatever.
just market share, which is a different thing again, because
Yeah.
sometimes you lose money
Correct.
to win a customer.
So if you're not strategic, you end up going around chasing all these goals, but not the steps that matter.
Yep.
And if you're focused too much on goals and outcomes, and if you don't achieve the outcomes, because outcomes sometimes happens 3 months down the road.
And outcomes are sometimes not within your control.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
could
would
do all the
rather-
right things and it may not happen
Yeah.
yet because, it takes time to germinate.
So the focus should be on processes, developing a process that works for you, a system, and making a habit. That's why Atomic Habits, the book by, I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Ask Becky.
Yeah, I will. I read the book. I'm honestly underwhelmed because it's a lot of ideas in there, but just
Confession? I didn't read the book. I summarized it.
Yeah,
and I
it's-
can't remember what it was
I read-
because I summarized it.
It's-
So I should read the book.
no,
because
it's no. Let me tell you why. Okay, because it's just one underlying principle. Okay, is that
Practice.
small habits
Build into
small
bigger
habits
ones.
build
Yeah.
the big outcomes.
Yes.
So atomic, as in not strong and powerful, but in atoms, in small steps.
Yep.
So it's all about cultivating habit. Like
Yep.
I was watching one of the podcasts, and there's this guy who was saying that fitness, going to the gym, it's not about commitment.
Yeah.
It's about habit.
Yeah, just put on your shoes.
Yeah, it's about habit. You know.
You're right. But at the same time, before the habit forms, you have to keep it. You
So it's
keep at
routine,
it for
you
a
see,
while.
yeah. So it's the
Yes,
routine into a
yes.
habit, a
Yes.
habit into a discipline.
Yes, right. And then
Rather
and
than
then
a
it becomes-
commitment.
Yes.
Right. So if it's a commitment, it doesn't.
But it also starts. You can't have it without a commitment.
so
of
you
some kind.
can't
There's an
trust-
intention,
so
maybe
the
not
co-
a commitment,
the
but
commitment-
intention.
The commitment does not sustain you,
True.
but your
True.
habit sustains
Yes,
you.
yes. So
Right?
one is the start plug,
Yeah.
starter plug, and the other one is your yeah. Yeah.
So for those of you listening and not watching, I'm making sound effects of the car. So
There's so much truth in that because one of the things I was just really thinking about is I wish I could store exercise. Like, do all the exercise
that's what I do.
over 48 hours and then have it in storage that would last
I know.
you for the month.
That's what I used to do. I used to
No,
cycle 80 kilometers once a month,
Which obviously
but it doesn't
has
work.
it's come back to bite you, isn't it?
Coming to bite me.
But one of the things that I'm very proud of having created a habit was to at least do 5 minutes, minimum of 5 minutes of yoga every day. So it even if I don't get a full yoga session, I get something.
Okay, no, that's good. Once again, it's
and
atomic habits, small
it
little
is,
atoms,
it
small
is.
little moves.
Yeah.
And I think being too focused on outcomes, which is the whole idea of smart goal planning, you tend to miss the forest from the trees. Because if you get so focused on the outcomes without refining and getting better at the steps and processes in between, you're missing out a lot of capability development.
That sounds like how I study for exams. If you study by spotting questions, You don't actually learn the concepts.
Yeah, you don't understand, right? Yeah.
Or someone tells you, you just
So you
plug
might
the
get an
formula.
A1.
You might get an A1, but nothing retains.
Yeah. There's no real capability building or knowledge.
That sounds exactly like how I would learn, like, second language.
Spot questions.
Oh God! Yeah, memorize the intro, memorize the outro, and hope everything in between fits.
And that's how you know we survive our school days.
Yeah.
But I think it's just focusing on the end game, on the goals itself.
It's very myopic.
It's very stressful. I think the small systems, processes, habits, doing the right things rather than doing things right.
I just want to simplify things for our listeners here, because as we debate and we argue, the thing is this: don't overemphasize the goals. As you said, focus on process. But I'm also thinking, how about we just focus on one large theme for yourself for the year?
Yeah.
I remember a time when my kids would say, "Mom, you're so stressed. You just chill." So as I thought about it, I said, "Yeah, I should learn to chill." And then I started doing the chilling a little bit more, like just pausing for a minute before I react to something and go like, because we're all kind of stressed and prickly, right?
Yeah.
Especially when we get prickly, then we become not very nice. So then the following year, when the new year came around, this is back in the day when I still had this nice like monthly planners.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so what's my focus for the year was to chill. So I wrote in very nice calligraphy, chill, and I drew ice, and I would see it on the front page.
Did it work?
Yeah, of course. I mean, over time, I got less.
So that was
I don't sweat the small stuff.
So are you going to bring that into 2026?
Always. And so it's something again that you kind of it doesn't mean that you've achieved a skill. That it is a permanent thing.
It's
and
you're
the
journeying there, right?
It's a journey, and I'm better at chilling now. Probably I'm older as well.
And progress rather than perfection.
Right, because we'll never reach the state of chill, because then I'll be a very zen yogi
and
person.
And you don't give a hoot about anything that happens.
That's not going to be right either.
The house is on fire.
So that's not going to be right. So I remember being in my 30s and 40s, going like, okay, for years and years and years, people would ask, so what's your New Year resolution? I'm like, no, I'm going to learn not to sweat the small stuff, or I'm going to learn not to react to haters. Again, have you noticed that even though the word was chill was the theme, but within the theme there were like tiny, very specific things like, okay, I'm not going to let this annoying colleague get under my collar.
She's talking about me.
No, that you didn't exist back then, right? So I would recommend this strategy for all our listeners out there. Think of a larger theme. So if you want to get healthy, for example, then break it down. Like, what do you mean by healthy? Buy more vegetables. Just one vegetarian meal a day, for example. It becomes a lot more measurable. And
you know what's my theme for 2026?
Get healthy.
It's just not stretch.
No, you are not stretching.
I need to learn how to stretch.
Since your previous injury, I think you were talking about your rhomboids.
I know. I've been having a plethora of muscular issues. So I understand right now it's stretch. So I've already.
Have you put? You know what you can do as part of your SMART goals? Put a calendar notification at the end of every hour, and it beeps to remind you to stand up.
I really, as it is every morning I wake up now, it's about 10 minutes of stretching.
Yes, good.
So once again, the small atomic habits.
Throughout the day, maybe your calendar will help. Maybe Becky can be agentic and just go like, Adrian, time to stretch.
Yeah. So if any one of you out there has any advice on how I can stretch or what stretch exercises I should do, please reach out to me, and I'll be happy to hear any advice you can give. But in the meantime, for 2026, I hope that your goals are
reasonable,
achievable, and don't forget about the processes that get you there. That's more important than the stupid goal itself. Okay, the goals will come once you put the right things in place. In the meantime, keep calm and carry on.